Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal. Today is July 30th. I already covered the anniversary I have today, and I'm going to go ahead and link to that below. So what I'm going to do to give you something a little different, I'm going to pick up where I left off with the Life Dynamics podcast with Troy Newman of Operation Rescue, What Happens When Abortions Go Wrong. And I'm going to turn the reactions to this specific video into a playlist for you. So the anniversary will be linked below. The previous video I did will be linked below, and the podcast will be linked below. So let's pick up where we left off last time.
It's no wonder there's so many complications.
Oh yeah, which causes so many complications.
Okay, so they were just talking about Warren Hearn, who literally wrote the book on abortion. He wrote Abortion Practice, saying that abortion is performed blind and the pregnant uterus is very unforgiving of bad technique.
These are just a few, like retained fetal parts, which could lead to septic infection, infertility, uterine scarring and perforation, which again can lead to infertility, fatal injuries.
Okay, so I'm going to link to the Line 5 chapters that I already covered just so that you can follow up on some of the things they're discussing.
Torn cervixes and other collateral damages to other body parts.
Anesthesia overdoses. You had something that you guys reported on, Troy. In February of last year, a woman had to be resuscitated during a 911 call. Apparently, the abortionist had overdosed the patient on fentanyl and I don't even know how to pronounce the other one, but Mizdalam or whatever.
It happens more times than we can actually count. Again, we're kind of looking into the abortion cartel, these abortion mills, from the outside, looking almost through a dark glass, and the only time we get reports of women dying, women being injured, is when we have some sort of external evidence, and usually that's when the abortion cartel calls 911. And you see, it's medical malpractice to start a procedure that you can't repair an injury that you caused. Okay, so let's just say you're getting a colonoscopy. Every once in a while, that instrument actually will pierce a valve, but it's done in a hospital setting so they can open you up and repair that torn colon. The abortion cartel, often operating in strip malls. I've seen one in old gas stations. The building that I'm speaking to you from.
The abortion clinic where Stacy Ruckman died was the basement of a car dealership. Leroy Carhart's abortion clinic was in what looked to be an old muffler shop. So I don't know if they're going to get into this, but abortion advocates try to, they call any attempt to try to upgrade the conditions in abortion clinic targeted restriction of abortion providers or something like that, where supposedly we're just doing this to be mean to the poor provider of vital reproductive health care services. We had a woman wound up dead because the elevator would not allow a gurney to lay flat. So they had to stop performing CPR while they were taking her out of the building. Whenever you're doing something where you can cause the patient to stop breathing, you need to have egress from the whole way from the procedure room to the ambulance has to be where they can have that patient on a gurney with somebody, holding the IV bags up, a couple people navigating the gurney, and then somebody on the gurney with the patient doing chest compressions. So you've got somebody holding the IV up. You've got somebody bagging the patient, with the ambu bag. You've got somebody on the patient, on the gurney, straddling the patient, doing the chest compressions, and then you have whoever it is that is moving the gurney. That's why these requirements for the hallways to be so wide, because you need to be able to move that ambulance gurney while you've got the people who are actively providing care to this patient whose heart has stopped. And they fight against that tooth and nail when EMS arrived to get Karnamaya Mongar out of Kermit Gosnell's abortion clinic. The emergency exit was chained shut and they couldn't find the lock. They had to get the fire department to cut the lock, and they couldn't carry her out properly on a gurney because it was just this total maze of old buildings put together. So, you know, when they talk about, oh, it's to have the hallway, this is targeted. No, there's a reason for that, and women have died because of failure to have access to get the woman out on a gurney while you're providing care to her. So
now is a closed abortion mill, and you wouldn't have your nails done, ladies.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have, you know, those little eyelash things put on your eyes.
I wouldn't normally anyway.
In the unsanitary conditions that were found here in this, I don't even want to call it a clinic, this mill. And
and we've got Mark Crutcher touring that building that Troy Newman is talking about. So I can share that below too. That will show you and this was a National Abortion Federation member clinic. It was nasty.
Crutcher and I walk through here with a camera and document the filth, the gore, the stained blood, the mold, the cockroaches, etc.
And the creepy garbage disposal that they use to get rid of the parts.
I still have that garbage disposal. The nickname of the manufacturer of that garbage disposal was called the Bone Crusher, the Bone Crusher 2. And so it's no wonder that it was installed here at this abortion mill. But if I could just do one thing and back up, the title of this program is When Abortions Go Wrong, right?
Yeah.
And let me set the stage here and say, number one.
Okay, so it sounds here like he's going to move into a new segment. So we're almost 7 minutes in. I tend to like to try to do short videos for you. So we're going to end here, and I'm going to be backing this up. In fact, I'm going to hit go back 15 seconds, and we'll pick up more tomorrow.